Brands. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for your patience as I had to reboot my computer. But we're so excited to be showing you the NQ1700 today with Brother National Educator Sara Vetser. So without further ado, I will go ahead and bring her in. Hey, Sara, how are you?
Hi, Barbara. I'm doing well. How are you today?
Awesome. I'm really excited to be going over this amazing machine. There's so many great things about it, and you're going to be doing a fun project on it. Would you like to show us that?
Yeah, sure. So I cooked up this little Thanksgiving place card is the word for it. I always forget the term, but so this is an embroidered paper place card. And the idea behind it was for Thanksgiving because it's coming up faster than we think. But I love the versatility of this design. This is the free design on iBroidery for the month. The wreath is. And I feel like it could be used for all the holidays that are coming up, don't you think?
Oh, I agree. I have so much embroidering to do. I'm so excited. So before we get to the project and the machine, I did want to make a few announcements. In 1 week, we will have the Houston International Quilt Festival with the best packages and deals of the year. So that is November 3rd through the 6th. With preview night on the 2nd. We hope that you join us. AllBrands.com is hosting the Brother booth, and we'll have Scan and Cut there. We'll also have a Designs and Machine embroidery booth, So Steady Westerly, Laura Star Brewer, and even more. With your favorite educators, Angela Wolf, Cindy Hogan, Wendy Chow, Emily Thompson, Joanne Banco, Reen Wilcoxon, Carrie Cunningham, Becky Thompson, Stacy Louie, Donnell McAdams, Catherine Clausen, Emily Dunlap, Colleen Sweatman will be there, Barbara Jones, Heather Banks, Barb Mikulajczyk, Allison Nash, and Emily Green is going to be there. So when you get to the festival, we're on the front row this year. So all you have to do is just go in, take a left, and you will see our main stage for demonstrations the whole time. So to learn more, just visit www.allbrands.com/quiltfest, and we would love to see you there. Sara, I'm so excited. I can't wait.
That is quite the lineup of educators that you have coming.
I hope that you'll be with us in the future because you are so great.
Thank you.
Yeah. So also, if you haven't yet, we give away a $50 AllBrands.com e-gift card at the end of every broadcast. So to be eligible, go ahead and comment #AllBrands for that. So yeah. Well, Sara, let's get into it. I just got to say though,
yes,
it's hard for me. Like, what is your favorite feature on this machine? If you had to pick one.
it is hard to pick, but because I love making patches, I'm going to say that the color sort is my favorite because I can use the 6x10 hoop and I could stitch out 10 patches at once. And using that color sort feature, it makes it so much easier and faster to stitch those out because it'll do color number 1 for all 10 patches and then color number 2. So instead of having to change the thread 100 times, I have to change it 10 times.
Yay, that's great. I love, oh my gosh, I love that it cuts the jump stitches. Yep. It's 6x10 embroidery. The 1700 is available online and it's wireless now. So you have like the whole wireless apps, this digital design transfer, Artspira. Maybe you could tell us about that later. Gosh, there's just so much. And it's got a large embroidery area, the 6x10. So you can totally do like edge to edge quilting on that. There's so many possibilities.
I love to always show this jacket. This is my favorite sample to show with this machine because it's a really compact machine. You can see it behind me. I actually store it on a shelf when I'm not using it. So it's a compact machine, but because of that 6x10 embroidery area, you can get big, beautiful embroidery done And I just think that's so impressive.
Yes, very cool. So you're coming to the channel from New York. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Sure. Yes. I'm in Brooklyn, New York right now, and I attended FIT, Fashion Institute of Technology, got my degree in fashion design, worked in the industry as a designer for a bit, but then I got this job with Brother that I love. I love being an educator. And I also have a small business, which is this banner hanging behind me. It's called SAV NYC. And I rescue secondhand clothing and add my original embroidery designs to them to make them more exciting, bring new life into them. And yeah, so I have a lot of fun. And the two jobs, my education job and the small business, go perfectly hand in hand. So
wonderful. Well, we have some people that say that they own this machine and they love it. Here's one from Dawn. She has the 1600E and loves it.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to learn more about this machine.
Yep, this is definitely one of my favorite machines that I have. Yeah, so let me jump in. I'll talk about the frames first. So you get the 5x7 frame with this machine and that impressive 6x10 frame. These are both included with the machine. So you can, again, embroider large jacket backs, do edge-to-edge quilting. You can accomplish a lot with this 6x10 frame. It's also compatible with some smaller frames. So for my project today, I used a 4x4 hoop. So if you're maybe more accustomed to using those smaller hoops, you're still able to use those on this machine. And there is a new optional flat magnetic frame that's 5x7. Have that here. And I have this little plush toy hooped in here because I like to show how easy it is to hoop really thick and awkward items. Like when I embroidered this lovey here, you can see it's very plush. And he has this awkward little head up here. I also had 2 layers of stabilizer in here when I embroidered him. So it holds really well, even though we have thick seams. And those magnets are super strong. You can see my project is not moving at all in the embroidery area, but they're still really easy, those magnets, to take on and off. So it's a beautiful thing. And you can see how flat it is.
I love it.
Yeah.
We had a few questions that came in.
Okay, great.
Claudia is asking if that frame will fit the luminaire. And I believe so. Yes.
Yes. Yes. Before the show, I was looking all over my studio for it. I couldn't find it. It was in my luminaire. I was using it for a project over there. So it definitely does. All right. So, and then I'll just show this jacket again, some other samples. So this is one of the new designs that come on the machine, these nice zebras here. So the 1600E is the previous model. We said someone on here has that machine, and it's great. Some of the upgrades that you get with the 1700E are 60 new embroidery designs. So these zebras are one of those new designs. There's also some really cute llama designs on there. This is a fan favorite tea towel. I always like to show this. So the llamas are a built-in design, and then I added the no problema text on the bottom. And I used color sort, so I matched the text with this little piece in the llama up here, same color thread. And then I used color sort so that when the machine was going to stitch out this color in my llama design, it went ahead and stitched out the text at the same time, so I didn't have to change my thread an extra time at the end. And the machine stitches at 850 stitches per minute. So this was done in just a half an hour. And my zebra jacket only took an hour, if you can believe it. So that big impactful embroidery at 850 stitches per minute. It's a really great machine. The other upgrade from the 1600, the big one, is the wireless connectivity, and you could do a bunch of things with that. So as you already mentioned, Barbara, it has different connections to apps. So the Artspira app is the newest one that Brother just rolled out, and it is now compatible with this machine. So with Artspira, you're able to draw your own designs on your phone or your tablet. It's available on your app store for Apple or Android devices. There are also some free projects on there every month and some free designs. So you can send those over to your machine wirelessly from your phone or your tablet. So that's really cool. There's also design database transfer, which you can use on your PC computer. And design database transfer accesses all of your embroidery designs on your computer, whether you digitize them yourself or bought them or downloaded them from iBroidery. It can access all of those and, again, wirelessly send them from your computer to your machine. So if you've had trouble with USBs in the past, figuring out how to drag your files over, exporting them, ejecting them, moving them, you can forget about all of that if you'd like to, and you can just transfer everything wirelessly from now on. If you love your USB, though, there's still a USB port in the machine that you could use.
I love that.
Yeah.
Hey, Dawn just asked the question. Do you have to slow down your machine when it went across the center seam of the jacket?
I did not on this one. Let's see. Yeah, it is a pretty thick seam. There's some binding on the inside there. But I did not slow down the speed. It went right through beautifully, no issues.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's super impressive.
Yeah. So the last thing with the wireless connectivity is the machine will actually notify you when you need a software update, which is very helpful because it's important to update your machine regularly to keep it running smoothly, but I often forget to check for updates. So now I can actually show you guys I need to update my machine right now. And so I have on my screen here, you can see this is my wireless key. And when it's blue, that means that it's connected to the internet. The little exclamation point that you see there in the corner is the notification that the machine is telling me there's an update available. So I can go to the Brother Solutions Center and I can download that update onto a thumb drive, and then I can install it in my computer, in my my embroidery machine. So I love that feature as well. Very helpful. So altogether, there are 258 built-in designs. So the zebras, the llamas are all part of some of the new ones. There are some quilting patterns in there. And even though this machine, this model does not come with Disney, you can purchase Disney designs from iBroidery.com and you can stitch them out on this machine. So that's really cool as well. So I'm going to go back up close to the screen again. I want to show you guys some of the seasonal Thanksgiving designs because I was poking around when I was thinking of doing a Thanksgiving themed project, and there are some really cute designs in here. So this is one of our embroidery design categories. This holds most of the seasonal designs. You can see we're in summer, and then you get into kind of the fall themed stuff. So there's a turkey here. It's pretty cute.
Oh, wow. That is super cute.
Yeah. There's a pumpkin. I think my favorite one is this cornucopia here. I love the vegetables and the colors and everything. So there's a lot of fun stuff to play with. And you're seeing my embroidery area here on the left. I have it set to green because, and that's a nice little trick that I like to use on here. So in your machine settings, you can, when you're working on a specific project, you can do a couple of different things to help plan the project while you're picking the design and all of that. So I knew I was going to use my 4x4 frame. So I have that set in here. But you can scroll through and you can select any of the frame sizes that you would be able to use on this machine. So this is the 6x10, for example, 5x7, 4x7 and an eighth, 6x6, 4x4. And now the machine is going to preview that 4x4 embroidery area for you so that when you're looking at your designs, you can tell which designs will fit in the 4x4 area, like our turkey will fit very nicely, and which ones won't, like this big sunflower wreath here. So that's super helpful. And then back in our settings, just using the arrows on the front of my machine to navigate, I can navigate over to here. This is the color palette, and you can choose to change the color of your embroidery area background and even the thumbnail background. So if I went in here and I knew that I was working with this nice green paper here, so I went ahead and I selected the color green, and now my machine is previewing the color green as my background color. And that helped me to decide what color thread I wanted to use and all that fun stuff. So that's just a fun little tip. So these are our other categories in here, and there are subcategories within each of these as well. So this was where I just was. This is the seasonal designs, buttonholes, buttonhole decorations. The crown category is where a lot of those newer designs live. So here are my zebras, and the llamas are here as well. As you're clicking on these, they're going to appear and preview in your embroidery area. Also up here, it's telling you which hoop sizes you can and can't use. So the hoops will gray out as you select different larger designs if they won't fit in a smaller frame. So right now I can see I can only use the 6x10 frame to stitch out this big llama here. And it gives you the dimensions on the side as well. At any point, you can press the preview button and you can see that design up close, or preview it in the hoop. We also have another category here that has other seasonal designs and decorative designs. There are 14 pages, lots to choose from. We have our floral alphabets. There are two of them. There's kind of a gold one and a blue one. But of course, you can use any color thread. And then we have our fonts. And let's see, I think there are 13 fonts in here. Let's count. 6. Yep, there are 13 fonts. So you can choose any one of these. And on my place card, I use number 3. And when you select it, it opens your alphabet. And you can use the arrows on the front of your screen to move through the uppercase letters and the lowercase letters. You have numbers and symbols and special character tabs as well. And as
while you're there, I had a question earlier about a font.
okay.
Anne was asking about, does it have any applique font for letters in the machine?
That's a great question. So for applique, there is a section that has, I know, some numbers. Let's see if I can find that in here.
Sorry, we're going down a little rabbit hole for Anne.
I think it's at the back of this section.
That was a good question.
Yeah, so right in here, there are some candle style numbers. These are, I know that these are all applique. And We have like balloons and a car here and a teddy bear. So I don't believe that there are any applique letters, but there are a bunch of designs that are applique and those numbered candles.
Great. Thanks for answering that.
No problem.
Debbie just commented, if I were to get a flatbed embroidery machine, this would be it. Yes, this is a great choice, Debbie.
Yeah, this is an awesome machine. So back in my alphabet here, I wanted to demonstrate what happens when you start typing. So if I start typing out my name, you can see a bunch of keys just kind of unlocked once I typed my first letter. So again, it's showing us what hoop size we can and can't fit our text in. It's showing us the dimensions as we type. And down here, you can toggle between large, medium, and small font size. So it automatically starts at large. You can just tap to bring it down to medium, and you can watch my dimensions up here. They're changing as I make the font size smaller. So I'm going to leave it at large. I'm going to finish typing my name. And then I'm going to add a space, and I'll start typing my last name as well. Now, this is the feature that I really wanted to show you guys. So as I'm typing, the machine came up with, we'll call it an error message. It says the pattern extends to the outside of the embroidery frame. So normally you would have to go back and change the size and delete. But on this machine, because it has a 6x10 embroidery area, it gives you the option to just rotate your text by 90 degrees. And then I can continue typing out my name. And when I set it, you can see it used that 10-inch area to fill in the large text for me. So I love that feature as well. So let me grab, and then the last category, I don't want to miss this, is the frame category. So you can choose from any of these shapes, and then you have 4 pages of different frames to choose from. These are really fun to edit with and add in and mix with other.
You could probably, could you make some of those into applique? Is there a straight line design that then you could put the...
Let's see. Most of these are more on the decorative side. This is just a triple stitch, I believe. So maybe this one would work.
Very cool.
And what we would have to do is go into the color palette, and then we can convert the line to applique.
Whoa, that's so cool. I love it. I forgot about that feature. Oh, I love Brother so much.
Yeah, so that's an easy workaround right there. And I'm guessing, you know what, let's try it with a letter just to
here we go, Anne. Okay.
So I'll use the B, make it large, set it, and then I'll go into the color palette. Yep, you could change that too to applique material. So there you go.
It's magic. So magic. Love it.
All right. So I'm going to just delete these for now. I'm going to grab my wreath. And again, this is the design of the month on iBroidery.com. So you can go to iBroidery.com and right on the home page, there's a design of the month. You could just click and download it instantly for free. So I have it on my machine. I did use a USB stick this time. But
wait,
if you have
free? I'm sorry.
Yes, it's free.
I forgot that iBroidery has free downloads of embroidery designs on their website. I'm going to go ahead and pop that on the screen.
Perfect.
So if you own a Brother brand embroidery machine, you go to this website and register your machine. You'll have access to purchase Disney designs for most models, and also get the free download that's available there.
Exactly. Yeah, Yeah, of course. There's over 5,000 designs on there for you to choose from. And most of them are for purchase, but once a month, there's a new design that they offer for free. So I went on there today just to see. I figured they would be doing something more Thanksgiving themed. I'm sure in November it'll be Thanksgiving themed again. I don't know if I would call this Thanksgiving themed. It's kind of just flowers and plants, but I think it worked really well for this project. And like I said earlier, I think that it's neutral enough that you could use this for the other holidays that are coming up. If you're going to be having the same family members over for dinner, why not reuse your place cards, right? So, all right. So, and then if you have that design database transfer app on your computer, you can go ahead and download that design, pull it up on Design Database Transfer, and you can transfer it wirelessly to your machine. I actually use a Mac, so I'm not able to use Design Database Transfer on my Mac computer. I have a separate PC that I use for all of that, all those functions. But for today, I didn't feel like getting my PC out, so I just used a USB. Like I said, if you prefer to use your USB, or I know a lot of us have USBs that are full of designs already, this machine does have a port on the side here. You can see my USBs in there, and you're able to transfer the designs that way as well. Okay, so I set my design in here, and it comes in as the color carmine. It's like a bright pink color, but I know that I want to use more of an orange. These are my threads that I picked out. I decided to use cotton because I thought that the matte finish of the cotton thread kind of worked better with this type of paper that I was using. So I'm going to go into, this is our editing screen, by the way. Don't want to get ahead of myself. So once you select your first design element and you set it, it pulls up this screen, and this is where all of your editing tools are. So you see you have move, size, rotate. This is our color palette. You can flip the design. If I had text in here, which I will add the text in a moment, then the font edit tool will light up and are able to unlock. First, I'm going to use my color palette, and I'm going to select that reddish brown orange color. Let's see. Doesn't have to be a perfect match, but I think this one represents that pretty well. And this is reddish brown, by the way. Have it on the bottom here. Sometimes the color, the cotton and the poly thread colors look a little bit different. So I'm going to save that. And then to add my text, all I have to do is press add. It brings me back to the home screen. I can select my font. Again, I used font number 3. I wanted to pick the most open font here because we are stitching on paper. So I didn't want anything really dense. So that's why I went with number 3. And I will type out my name. This time I'm going to jump down to size small. And there we go. Now it's really small to look at it from this distance, but luckily we have a zoom tool. At any time while you're editing, you can zoom up to 300%. Right now I'm going to do 250. There we go. Now I can see my text really, really well. I'll go back into my color palette. And this whitish thread that I chose is beige. So I'm going to use the arrows on the front of my screen to move through the different color palettes. There are 4 of them, and like we saw a minute ago, the 4th page has our applique colors, as if you will. So you can use those to change your stitches to applique material. This one is applique position, and this is applique, so that'll add that zigzag stitch around, or the blanket stitch. So I will change this to beige, and we're all set there. Now that I have my font in here, you can see the font edit key is unlocked for us. And this actually opens up a whole sub menu of editing features just for fonts and text. So this button, multicolor, will actually split up our letters for us. So if we go back into the color palette, you can see my letters are individual, and I can now color them individually. So I can make the S yellow and the A blue, and so on and so on. If I want to turn that off, I just press multicolor again, and it turns it back to black for me. So now you see the whole word is together as one piece. We also have the array tool, which is really fun. This will curve your text for you. Let me just zoom out a little bit more. So if we wanted my, or your name, my name, whoever name you're typing on there, if you want it to kind of match the curve of your wreath, you can do that by using the array tool. And then my letters got really close together when I was editing that. So I can go into the letter spacing tool and space them farther apart. Kind of hard to see the beige on here. Use my move tool, move it down. Just playing around with all these features here. I'll zoom back out a little bit so you can see the effect that I'm getting. This tool will allow you to individually edit the letters. So if I wanted to just make the S large, I could do that. And it's starting to look a little crazy, so I'm going to snap it back to straight there. So you can see you can get a really cool effect if you're individually editing the letters like that. So let's say I even just make it medium, and now that letter gives a little variation to the names there. I actually like how that looks, so I'm going to leave it. And then this tool allows you to split them apart. So if I wanted to kind of cut the S off from the rest of my name and maybe move it up or move it to the left, you'd be able to do all those edits this way with the knife tool. So there's tons and tons of editing tools on here. And it's really fun to just sit here and poke around and try different things. And it's very user-friendly. So this machine is great for a beginner who may not be used to all these tools, because as you see, just poke around, try stuff out. It's easy. And maybe someone who's more of an expert level, who might be accustomed to some of these tools already, will enjoy maybe having this as a backup machine or an additional embroidery machine, one they could take to class. It's a really versatile one. All right. So I'm back at 100. Now I'm going to show you guys the frame that I set up. So what I did was, I'm going to go back to the other view. Go back to here. Okay. So I'm using my 4x4 hoop, and I hooped my stabilizer. I used a medium tearaweight here, but if you have, did I say tearaweight? It's a tearaway. If you have a sticky back stabilizer, that would be great for this kind of project as well, as long as it's not too sticky, because again, we are putting paper down on here. And then you can see the blue crosshair that I added. That's going to help me to know where to line up my card. So I use the markers that are inside the frame. You can see the large one in the middle there, but there's one or two to the left and the right of that, and the same on the side here. You can maybe faintly see them there. So those are really helpful alignment tools. So I basically took a small scrap of paper. If you have a ruler that's small enough to fit in here, you could use that. And I lined up the paper with the notches going across and going lengthwise and then added that crosshair in there. I'm going to use some adhesive spray. I'm using the 505 temporary adhesive. This is definitely a good one to use for paper, although we won't actually be taking the paper off of the stabilizer. So I guess it doesn't matter. You could use a permanent adhesive as well. This is the inside of my place card. So once it's done stitching, I just trimmed the stabilizer. So it doesn't really have to be temporary adhesive because the stabilizer is staying there forever. Okay. So I'm going to spray lightly on the left side of my marks because that's where my paper is going to go. And then I have my cardstock here. I cut this piece out of a really, really large piece of cardstock that I bought at the store. So I'm going to line it up with my crosshairs and press it down. So I'm just making sure that the edge is straight, going up and down my crosshair, and then just pressing it gently with my hand, and you want to do this on a flat surface. So I'm just going to hold it for a second and let that glue dry a little bit. But meanwhile, we can go back to the machine. And on my editing screen, now that you've seen how I position the paper, you know that you probably realize that we're going to have to rotate our design. So I'm going to rotate it to the left. I can select different elements with my finger, or sometimes when you have something that's larger than another element, it can be harder to select the smaller element. So you can use the select button. And now you can see the red boxes are around my text. Rotate that. I'm going to select my wreath again because it moved a little bit. So I'm going to move it to the center. Press select. I selected my name now, and I'm going to move that to the center. All right. So I think we're ready to go. Now I get to show you guys some of the awesome positioning tools that are on here. So I'm going to press end edit. I'm going to load my frame in. And I'll show you guys how I'm doing that. So do we have a question?
Oh, I was just going to say, a lot of folks were saying that this is a great companion machine. So if you own a top of the line or a V-Series machine, this takes the same hoops. So you can use the slide-on hoops with this one. You can use it on the VM series and also the Stellaires and the Luminaires. So
yes,
this is something great to think about.
Exactly, yep. So this is going to slide right on to the arm, and then it locks in, and you're done. It's that easy to load your hoop on. So now over on my screen, I'm going to use some of the positioning tools to make sure that my design is more towards the bottom of my place card. So this trace tool right here is going to allow me to choose any point along my design, and it's going to move the frame so that the needle is positioned where that point of the design would stitch out. So I'm going to choose the bottom center, and you can see the arm and the frame moved to show me where the bottom center is going to land in my hoop. So I can drop my presser foot and drop my needle if I want. And I can see exactly where the bottom of my design is going to stitch out. And I think that is a pretty good placement. Let's look at my other one. This one looks like it's a tiny bit up from the bottom. So if I wanted to move it up a little bit, move my needle, press OK here, the machine is going to hold that position. You can also see the green crosshair on the screen here is showing you the position as well. And then I can use
Sarah, there's an optional foot that I'd love for everyone to know about. It's called the SA207. It comes with the 3700D, which is the combination sewing and embroidery version of this machine. But it's optional with the NQ1700E that we're looking at today. But it'll project a laser point where the needle will hit the fabric.
Oh yeah, that's a great one. I have that one for my luminaire and it is super helpful. So that's definitely a great accessory to have. So I'm going to use these arrows here to just scooch this up a little bit. And because I have my frame locked in, the machine knows what frame I'm using. So it's going to start beeping when I hit the very top of the embroidery area and I can't move the design anymore. So let's listen for that. So you can see it stops moving and gives me a little beep when I'm at the top of the embroidery area and I can't move it anymore. Now that's looking a little bit high, so I'm going to move it down a little bit. But that's basically to demonstrate how the machine really wants you to just enjoy yourself when you're doing these projects. It doesn't want you to stress, so it's going to help you along the way to make sure that you're stitching safely and your project is going to go smoothly, so the foot won't hit the frame. You're not going to position it in a bad placement at all. All right, so we have that set. Now, if you want to check the entire layout, you can use the trace around button, which is found in our trace menu, and it's the arrow that looks like it's going around in a square. So you can press that and the machine is going to then move and show you every position of your design so you can get a visual idea of how it's going to lay out in your hoop. There you go. So these tools are really helpful when you're doing a precise placement, let's say on a pocket or along a seam. You're really able to get accurate placements with all these tools. So I'm going to move to my final page here, and that is embroidery. And it's showing me my two colors. It's showing me what foot I need to use, what my stitch count is going to be, how many minutes it's going to take, and it's previewing the first color for us on the right there. So I'm going to thread this up. And again, I'm using cotton thread. Oops, my mic got caught. I'm using cotton thread. So my biggest tip for cotton thread is to just slow down the embroidery speed. I would do that anyway with stitching paper, just because I feel like it's a little more delicate than fabric would be. So I'll show you guys in a second how I slowed down the speed, because we do not want it stitching 850 stitches per minute with a cotton thread. It will probably shred the thread, and we don't want it to shred the paper either. But I also wanted to show you guys the advanced needle threading that this machine comes with. So you saw me thread everything, and then down here you can kind of hook it in. There's a trimmer on the side, and there's a lever that I'm going to pull down, and the machine is going to thread my needle for me. So no more manual threading. You can push a lever and have your needle threaded really easily. Okay, so in my settings, I'm going to go to the second page, and you can see max embroidery speed. I have it down to 350. I think we can go a little bit faster than that, so I'll do 400. And then this machine also comes with auto presser foot down, which is a really great high-end function. So you can see my presser foot is raised and my start button is green. Normally we would have to complete an extra step and lower the presser foot before we were able to start stitching. But with the auto presser foot down function, you can just press the start button and the machine will lower the foot for you and start the stitch out. And I'm just using regular embroidery bobbin thread here. And we could just let it stitch out. So
here's a question from Jenny Osborne. She's asking, what size and type of needle are you using?
This is just the standard one that comes with the machine. So it's an Oregon 7511. Yeah, just the standard sewing needle. We're using standard embroidery thread, so there's really no need to use a larger needle.
Great. And we do have, I've been saving a lot of questions, so just let me know when you're ready for those.
Oh, this is a great time because I'm just going to let it stick. So yeah, go ahead.
Oh, great. Okay, I'll meet you, I guess, on the, I'll come in and let's see. Here I am. Okay. So our first question is, here's a comment from Walk by Faith. I bought this machine for the color sort and cutting jump stitches features.
Yeah, like I said, the color sort's my favorite, so that makes sense to me.
Here we go. Claudia asked earlier, will these frames also fit the luminaire? Yes, and she was referring to the magnetic 5x7.
Yeah, yes, it definitely fits.
So if I've actually listed some some optional accessories on the category page for this. So if you click shop product in the description of this video, there's an optional bag set that you can get for this machine. There's a laser foot that you can get. There's the magnetic hoop. There's a lot of little upgrades that you can build onto your machine if you like. So we put those in there, as well as the links for our Xpera wireless and digital design database transfer and the iBroidery. Let's see. Some more questions. Okay, someone asked this earlier. What is the weight of this machine? And don't look it up because another awesome watcher commented, found the weight, 27 pounds.
I think without the embroidery unit, it's actually less than 20 pounds.
Wow.
And so the embroidery unit detaches and it's very easy to kind of move it around. Like I was saying earlier, I store it on a shelf. It's really no hassle to move it.
Very cool. Okay, so Sandy Ratter met you last week. I guess you were at an education event.
Yes. Hi, Sandy.
Great. Let's see. Here's one. Eva asks, can I save an outside design to my machine? If so, can you show how to do this at some point?
Yeah, you can definitely save any design that you might purchase or create as long as it is a PES file. That's the file type that is made specifically for Brother machines. So once this is done stitching, I can definitely show you how to save it. It's as easy as pressing a button.
We've had a lot of great comments that I just saved. Lady Fair, thanks for watching again. She says, it's so nice that Brother makes high quality machines for all skill levels and budgets.
Yes.
Agreed. And this machine is, for the features that it has, it's an excellent price point and it can be purchased online. So a lot of these features you would have to go into like a retail store to purchase because it would be a dealer only model. Well, this particular model, the NQ1700, can be purchased on our website, allbrands.com. I'll bring it up on the screen so you can see the model number. Here it is. And it's $1,999.99. And you can actually finance that price. So for 18 months, your price per month would be approximately $112. If you are shipping within Louisiana or Texas, our website charges sales tax. But other than that, it does not. So I hope that information is helpful for you guys. It's just a fantastic machine. All right, let's see. Let's get back to the questions. Oh, another comment from Anne. And she has some great questions about the applique that I got reminded of. So thank you, Sarah. Great features I didn't know about. Yeah, I forgot about some of those, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to use those because I have those on the top of the line too.
Yeah.
Let's see. Here's one from Renee Bolton. Hey, Renee. She asks, what is the largest hoop size that you can use on this machine?
Yeah, so that would be the 6 by 10 inch hoop. And that's the one that I was showing earlier that I used on my jacket back. So that's a really, really nice hoop size.
Very cool. One more question. Walk by Faith asks if you used a topper on your jacket with the zebras.
I did not, because it did not have any stretch to it. It was a pretty tight woven denim. Yeah, but you know, I will say when I stitched that out, I knew almost nothing about stabilizer. I've come a long way since then. So I'm not sure if I would use a topper on that. But definitely I used a tearaway. I would instead use, you know, like a poly mesh cutaway on the back of that jacket. And yeah, but no topper, to answer your question.
I love that needle, that foot down feature.
Yeah.
Well. It saves so much time.
Yeah, you really get accustomed to the machine doing that for you. I have a machine that does not have that feature, and I always get confused. Why is it red? Why is it not starting? You have to lower the foot.
They just keep getting better and better. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Renee says that this is a good machine for class. I agree. So there's actually two versions of this model. The NQ1700E, which is what we're using today, and that one can be purchased online. But there's also a model called the NQ3700D. That's a Disney model, so it has built-in Disney designs. And it's an amazing sewing machine. So if you wanted a combination sewing and embroidery, I would suggest for class the NQ3700D. And that one comes with the, excuse me, the laser foot, and it has some great included accessories in the box as well. Not to mention that this machine actually has a pretty long throat space for how lightweight it is. Okay, I found another question, Sarah. Glenda asks, oh, hey, Margie. Margie asks, does the 3700 have Wi-Fi? Yes, absolutely. So everything that you saw on the NQ1700 here today, you can do on the 3700.
All right. We finished our stitch out.
Woohoo! It's so cute.
All right, so now I'm going to take it out of the hoop. I'm going to grab my scissors, and on the back here, I'm just going to trim just the stabilizer, not the place card, or the paper rather.
You could probably also cut out another piece of green paper if you wanted to get real fancy and glue that to the back.
Yes, you definitely could. I just figured with the place card, the way that it kind of sits on the table, no one's really going to be looking on the inside unless they're purposely trying to critique you.
And they're not invited.
Exactly. All right. Last step is to just fold it in half. And you're all done.
Oh my goodness. I love it, Sarah. It's beautiful. What a great idea.
Thank you. I'm just going to bring it along to my family's Thanksgiving, and I'll be the only one with a placeholder, a place card. I'll just put it down in my seat.
You're going to make everyone jealous.
Yeah.
Oh, how funny. Oh my goodness. So we're almost out of time. So everybody, if you haven't yet, go ahead and comment #AllBrands, because I'll be doing the giveaway very, very soon.
Yes.
So, oh my gosh. So what else have you been up to besides traveling and embroidering and just living the best life?
Yeah. I'm trying to make some new winter products. You know, I have to embroider some sweaters. It's getting cold.
Very cool.
Yeah, working on some custom orders. I do custom pet portraits as embroidery, so that's so fun. Yeah.
Is that with the PE Design 11 photo stitch?
No, it's with the digitizing. So I not photorealistic, but I just digitize it as kind of like an illustration style.
Oh, very, very cool.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. We'll be doing our giveaway very soon, but everyone's loving it. Here's something fun from Anne. No sewing police, no embroidery police, no quilting police.
No, ma'am.
Love it.
Yeah, I hope you guys like this project. This was a fun one.
Oh, thank you, Sandy, for watching. Everyone loves it. It's so great. All right. Well, we will do our giveaway very soon. And let's see. Let me bring that screen in. Oh, I seem to have lost it, so I have to bring it back. Here we go. There it is. All right. And drum roll, please. Our winner for this Thursday, we love you all, but only one can win, is Bonita Jackson. Congratulations. Oh my gosh, it's so fun to win. Go ahead and email me at events@allbrands.com to claim your prize. And oh my gosh, it's just 1 week and we'll be streaming live from the Houston International Quilt Festival. So please join us there, hopefully in person. You have to experience the quilts. It's amazing. Have you ever been, Sarah?
Not to that one. I've been to the Pacific International Quilt Festival. Yeah, it sounds so much fun. I hope you have a blast.
Thank you. All right. Well, thank you so much for your demonstration today. My wheels are turning. You reminded me of some features that I have on my Luminaire that I don't take advantage of.
Awesome. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
All right. Well, we'll see y'all in 1 week in Houston, and it's going to be awesome. Stop by our booth and say, hey, we love you. Bye.
Hi, AllBrands friends. It's Emily from Life So Savory, and I'm excited to announce that I'm going to be joining Barbara and the AllBrands team at the Houston Quilt Festival this November. So come check out the booth, come see the amazing projects, that we're gonna be sewing on this live stage with the new Brother Air Threading Serger. Come see all the fun sewing and crafting machines that AllBrands has to offer, as well as meet me, and I'd love to meet you and say hi, and let's just get excited about sewing together. See you there.